hero pool as well. Like, we're not only going to have Clockwork really valued, but Nightstalker and Earthshaker, especially Earthshaker a little bit more for SG, but it's still very important for Keen Gaming as well. So I think that's going to be the biggest duel when we're looking at our first 2 bans and our first couple of pickups, is those 4 positions and what gets through and what doesn't. Because we've got other heroes like Nyx Assassin who are also very important, especially for SG. Spirit Breaker would be the other one for SG as well. So there's definitely, you've really got to think about what you want to present the team. And that's the thing, right? Is that you present a 4 position to the enemy team, you can at least plan around it a little bit more. Where you say, we don't want to play against, you know, the Nyx Assassin. We don't want to play against his Clockwork. And we leave open, say, an Earthshaker. We can at least know to play around that. But at the same time, maybe there's a little bit of mind games there, right? Maybe you don't want to take the obvious pick. But apparently SG are down for that.
Yeah,
you give it the Earthshaker, and we set that apparently we set this up really well.
Well, we're gonna have a TL Core Earthshaker.
They grab it.
Yep, that's a comfort pick for them. TL Core plays that hero at a very high level. It's interesting. As we go on with these drafts, if we have the opportunity, I'd like to talk about the Nyx, because the Nyx is actually 3 and 12 only. It's a hero that a lot of teams value. But yeah, you look at the first phase bans. Out of the 8 most banned heroes so far in DPC play, 7 of them are dedicated 4 and 5 support. So it's not surprising. The only core being Venom. Yeah, that's banned in the first phase.
Yeah,
and there's the clock.
Yep.
All right.
I really like this. I think Keen Gaming set this up very well. They presented the Earthshaker, which we know SG is going to take it. It felt very important to them at Star Ladder. They were actually able to put on some really strong performances with the Earthshaker, but not really seeing the same results with other heroes. So it seems pretty obvious that SG are going to take that no matter what. You get the Clockwork, which is really a staple of yours that you're very good with, and it also suits up very well against the Earthshaker. And then you've also now got the Furion, who would be a good pick. It's actually decent versus Clockwork in the fact that you're able to get yourself out of cogs via Sprout. You're able to summon Treants inside to be able to help you against Battery Assault. It's not it's not actually that good of a pick-off hero against Furion compared to others.
Yeah, I really liked what you said in our previous conversation about Keen enabling Dark, and I think Clockwork is a very, very good hero on the same side, and enabling Furion in addition to being a decent pick.
And then we're also going to be seeing SG pick up the Batrider, which doesn't, it ignores the Clockwork. But as you were just saying, right, we're more likely to see our Clockwork enabling the Furion, so he's not necessarily going to be focused on shutting out the Batrider in that safe lane.
Yeah, and this is, I think it's much more important for SG to pick up their offlaner in the first phase, because they're a little bit limited in their offlane pool relative to Keen. The thing that scares me about Batrider is that there are still a few cores in the pool that present him with very problematic laning matchups. Slark has fallen out of favor, but there's still the Lifestealer that can really give him problems in lane, along with a couple others.
Dire team ban.
So they're going to actually ban away the Ember Spirit themselves. That's a little bit surprising to me.
Look at the Arc Warden ban.
Yeah, get that Arc Warden out.
That is the signature hero on the side of SG.
Yeah, I think you don't want to leave yourself open to those possibilities. Like now, Arc Warden is actually seeing more of that Meepo style pick, or where Broodmother used to occupy, right? Which is one of those like specialized picks for a certain team that is very tough to play against, and you really have to know the strategy against that hero in and out. And if you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable, just take it out of the pool immediately.
I actually hate that hero. Every single game of Dota I've ever played with an Arc Warden on every side has been a miserable experience.
Every support player in the world agrees.
Yes.
Also taking away the Winter Wyvern, but it's the Ember Spirit I want to go back to. That SG are taking that one out of the pool, despite the fact that, yes, Keen Gaming absolutely can pick it up. It's great for them as well, but it's an SG hero. It's an ATR hero all the way. So that is a little bit surprising to me.
Do you think that leads you to believe that they've got some sort of plan?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Maybe it's a counter to what they want to pick?
Well, that's the thing. It's a weird ban because, I agree with Captain, it's a weird ban because you think of, there are a lot more heroes in the pool that counter Ember. And you ask yourself, what does Ember counter? Ember counters an overall lack of disable on the other side, but he doesn't necessarily counter particular heroes that well.
He's also Ying's second most picked
Okay.
behind the DP, and then they ban the DP. So
DP,
I think this is a targeted ban to their mid lane.
Yeah, I think they, like I said,
I mean, it's the 2 heroes he's played the most of all. His third most, for instance, is the Outward Devourer and Viper. Those are his top 4 right now. But the Death Prophet and the Ember way out ahead.
Yeah, I just think they're recognizing the importance of playing around ADR. They know that they need him to be the playmaker. I love this Venge pick in this spot for Keen Gaming. I think we saw a lot in the early part of this patch. We saw that first phase flex picks were really big. I actually like a flex pick in the 3 position, and the Vengeful Spirit, they're not necessarily going to go to it as a carry, but I think the option of it here is very powerful. And now, SG actually do have to worry about a potential Drow pick in the 4 out of Keen.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of pressure when it comes to pushing, but I am unconvinced about its versatility.
Venge?
Because I don't think that it performs well enough as a 5 position for you to really be able to value it high enough, right? It's like
I still like it with a Bat Rider on the other side. As a 5 with a Bat Rider on the other side, I'm absolutely fine.
That is fine, but I think there's still like 5 positions that would have been valued higher, right? And we're instantly going to pick up the Lifestealer. So then it's like we're locking in that with the fact we do have a Vengeful Spirit 5 position, but again, we still would have had other 5 positions that would have been, I think, a little bit more value. But it is also turning into a really nice physical damage strategy that we're coming out with the minus armor and now the Lifestealer. As you pointed out, great hero against the Bat Rider in laning phase.
Yeah, this to me, and this is why I favored Keen Gaming in this series, that SG is so much more limited in their off-lane hero pool that I feel like these second phase by Keen is just punishing SG for the first phase Bat Rider super hard. We're going to pick Avenge, a 5 position that without the Bat Rider kind of is not great, but it's there, and now the Lifestealer. The Chaos Knight, though, I like it very much against the Lifestealer because, of course, you Phantasm up around the Lifestealer, he can't lifesteal off of your illusions, and you've got that burst physical damage with Lifestealer's low armor.
It's a little difficult to play the Furion against the Chaos Knight as well. Comes to laning phase, you have so much kill potential, no obvious escape mechanism. That being said, you do have to learn to play a bit suicidal. Plus, you'll have the Clockwork to be able to help you out. If he comes in with level 1 cogs and burns out the Chaos Knight pretty early, be a huge win for the Furion when it comes to his laning phase.
So biggest weakness of the Chaos Knight, he is one of the worst cores in the game at playing from behind. He has absolutely no flash farming capability. This hero, he falls behind, what's he going to do? He's going to have to, I think it was Artur EG the other day that I saw Artur have to like pop Phantasm and go farm the jungle. Maybe this is another team I'm thinking of, but he just can't survive losing a laning phase. And I worry, so far, I like Keen's lanes quite a bit.
Wonder with this last, how many other of the heroes that are left in the pool? Because I was thinking like if SG were able to get like a Bloodseeker mid in this sort of situation, that would be able to really limit what Keen is able to do with their core so far, between the combination of Bloodright against a Furion as well as the being able to lock down a Lifestealer. He hates being ruptured up like that. We don't have we don't have more of a clear initiator and lockdown hero for Keen other than Clockwork, which is pretty easy to work around with Force Staffs. So I really want to prioritize. Well, I mean, you have to make sure the Chaos Knight has a good lane, but if we can also get a really farm Bat Rider against the Lifestealer in the mid game and be able to have that Force Staff up, I think you could play a lot of kiting games with Keen's clear initiation advantage that they have right now.
Yeah, the Lifestealer ban by Keen, the Puck ban by Keen is really, really sharp. Indicates they've done their homework. Puck, I think, if he wasn't banned, would have been the insta pick for SG in the 5th position. ADR is great on that hero. But I think, given the style that SG plays, I think you need more of a teamfight initiator here, a hero that's going to be in the thick of things, and you're going to get that in the Queen of Pain. Also, the mobility, doesn't have to worry about those cogs. Yeah, well, the animation on the blink can be a problem, but
there's a lot of need for a big lockdown hero, and with the Puck banned by Keen Gaming themselves, there's not too many mids that are going to be able to give you that option.
Oh, I think they've got, I think they've got plenty of lockdowns in the first 3. I think they needed just AoE
for a
teamfight presence.
I think it's hard. It's like difficult to be able to get on top of her with Vengeful Spirit.
I'm sorry, we're saying something.
Yeah, I'm just talking
I
about
thought SG. I meant SG. Yeah. I think has more than enough lockdown.
Yes, I agree. SG does have the lockdown. They have the initiate. Sorry, when I said earlier, SG is a clear initiation advantage, right? Because they've got both the Earthshaker and the Bat Rider. They've got basically disables that destroy the idea of a magic immunity hero, right? Lifestealer's not going to be feeling comfortable just pushing out lanes and being able to rely on that lifesteal. This is Keen Gaming. They're going to have to play very disciplined and pretty fast. I think you're going to have to play like very much into SG a lot, and SG has a lot of teamfight heroes that can turn around on you. They're a little bit cooldown dependent just on the Chaos Knight when it comes to objectives. So I think Keen Gaming, their way to victory here is just to continue to hit SG over and over again, hard
So
and fast.
what do you think about the 5-year Marana for King Gaming?
That was the hero that popped up to me the most, but again, it doesn't really give you any sort of lockdown.
I could take a Lena or a Monkey here.
Choose
Well,
your
Lena would be
hero.
good. Lena, yeah, good. Very good call. Very good call, Paul. I like that a lot. I think it lanes well against the Queen of Pain. It can have kill potential on the Queen of Pain when both heroes are around that level 6. If Lena can just get a little bit ahead, and I think the path to victory for Keen is just lanes. Okay, you see this so often with teamfight strategies. If Keen Gaming can just win that laning phase convincingly, the teamfight combo potential of SG Esports is just never going to come online.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Keen Gaming, that is a clear advantage that they could give themselves. They've got the lifesteal against the Bat Rider, the clock to be able to burn out the Chaos Knight, make sure the Furion has a good lane. You could see a early rotation from him. I don't know. I still kind of like SG's Esports drafts a bit more. Chaos Knight is still pretty hit or miss for me. That's the biggest weakness in my mind when I look at that draft, is the fact that they have plenty of team fight, but if Chaos Knight falls behind, no matter what, it's like still hard to be able to end the game well enough. And you're going up against a team that could actually beat you out in the late game with like Furion and just trying to get good initiations with Lifestealers. So
They're gonna have to play around that Chaos Knight quite a bit as well, aren't they?
yeah.
I think this is all about. I think this is all about whether you can get to 20 minutes with your Chaos Knight ahead. If you get to 20 minutes with your Chaos Knight ahead, you are in really, really good shape as SG.
So, predictions, gents, for game number 1. Are you sticking to what you said before, which is even if SG have a better draft, you still feel like Keen might come through, Cap?
You know what? For my prediction, I'm just gonna go with SG here. I do feel like I like their draft a bit better. Keen Gaming definitely put themselves on a knife's edge with this strategy that they're running. It doesn't have a whole lot of leeway for failure.
Okay, Alan, very quickly.
I'm just on the knife edge. I'm going to go Keen because I think they're the better team. This is going to be very close.
All right, we're going to send it over to your commentary team. You guys are ready in the audience. You're ready at home. We're ready for game 1, and so too are our players. Enjoy as SG go head-to-head in game 1 with Keen.
Thank you very much, Paul. Indeed, I'm OD Pixel. I'll be joined by Blitz for this first series of the day here at ESL Hamburg. And can I just say, first and foremost, a huge shout out to the crowd. What an incredible turnout for this first series, and I hope you are treated to a beautiful day of Dota ahead of ourselves. We're starting with Keen versus SG. We've seen the two drafts. Things that we're not really too used to seeing. I mean, we've got with the wrong Venge. These drafts explain them to me, Blitz. What's going on?
I think that Keen right now, I agreed with the idea that it was a little bit hard for them to make this draft work. Like, they can't really mess up. I don't know how the Lena pick's gonna work. It has good AoE, but she also gets bursted really fast, and the vision game is a little bit weird for them. They do have a clockwork, but for example, when it comes to Roche engagements, I think SG should just crush them.
The battle begins.
I actually think that I like SG's lineup better.
See, AG come here looking for the rune snipe. Costabil already able to pick it up, and off the back of that, SG, they're just going to look for the first blood. Dark, out of position, out of place.
Major.
It is indeed. They get the bounty, but they're trying to give it to the carry, and they will do indeed. Costabil picks it up. Great start for SG there on the top lane. Picking both of those up. Bottom lane, Laposa trying to look for the creep skip. Wrong. And GGG trying to put him off it, but of course with the Firefly, the Bat's going to be fine. Gets the job done, pulls the wave around. Nothing that the Venge and Lifestealer could do to stop that. I mean, how's that bottom lane going to go? Venge, of course, a hero that we just don't see a lot. Does this offer a lot against this lane against the Bat, or does the Bat still have a pretty good time down there?
No. It's just, I mean, we haven't seen 5-position Venge in such a long time, and there's a reason for that, because I think as a 5, it's incredibly underwhelming. It's really hard to get your stun off in these team fights. It's one of the easiest animation dodge in the game.
I mean, I like this sort of ballsiness from Wrong. He's got the ward down. He feels he's safe to do so. He's making sure that despite the wave being pulled, he'll still get a few denies in fact off the back of that and keep control of it. So,
but still, this is going to be a level 2 for Laposa. He's going to be pretty happy about this. And this isn't an easy lane for Bat Rider. It never is against a Lifestealer because you have no kill potential against that hero, and you can always just rage off everything. But so far, so good. Not a bad start for the Bat Rider by any means. And it's this Queen of Pain right now, who is struggling a little bit. Already had a pop herself, and mid is very regen heavy.
and of course, for those that didn't catch Keen Gaming in the previous match here at the Major, in the mid lane will be Ing. on the Lina, and the other name you may not be familiar with because of the Chinese characters is Tianming, who will be moving around the map. The clockwork, and indeed, there we have him, appearing up on the top lane to back up Dark. Dark is in trouble, gets brought in by Costabile, Mango's pop, so they have the stun ready to go. Fish is there, causing some issues. Still not quite enough control to bring down Dark. It'll actually turn towards Tianming, who headed into the middle of it all, trying to split them up. He's bringing Theolacour down. They're trying for the Shaker, but Tianming's, he's got to be careful. He's got another battery assault. They're looking to chase this with the Treants as well, hunting for Theolacour, but SG a little too speedy. Keen Gaming can't quite close the gap. Wrongs also now come up to join this top lane. Try and put an end to SG being able to bully this Nature's Prophet out of it. But this mid lane, I mean, is this expected to be this sort of one-sided, to have this lead for Alina in this matchup, or does this surprise?
It doesn't surprise me too much. It is a really annoying matchup for the Lina because you can just push the wave in and get very aggressive, get a few right clicks off for free. Because you have the range advantage, you can trade very easily. So laning ways, I think it's pretty good right now for Keen, just because they should be able to win through these lanes. This aggressive tri lane, it's not getting a lot of farm, but it's doing its job, being as annoying as possible, burning regen, and they're allowing their Lifestealer to just get solo levels against that Bat Rider right now.
Absolutely, and this is what one of the few cores that can be left on their own in this lane.
Yeah.
Right, he's going to be fine down his.
He doesn't
care
mind.
about the back.
And that's why he doesn't go for something like the Magic Stick, and that's
Yeah.
why we see the Bat Rider go all the way around at bottom lane for the next wave, as in mid. We got to be careful here. He is getting a little bit low.
He's got the salve, but looks like he's going to make the trip back to base nonetheless. Low on the mana, worth taking the time to refuel.
And this is where the Queen of Pain is going to catch back up in this matchup. But meanwhile, up at top, Dark just staying in the lane, doesn't really care. And even if he dies at this point, I don't think he'd mind. It's going to take pretty much all of the mana from the Chaos Knight to be able to kill the Nature's Prophet. And if that's the case, then he'll just TP right back up there.
And you can't underestimate the punch he's got as well. Now with the phase boots complete and having that Vengeful Spirit in the neighborhood, if Keen Gaming find the lockdown, it could certainly hurt. They've got the Fisher from Theolacour, and that will put an end to it. So, no, they do have a hefty amount of physical. SG have two good supports that are very good at sort of disabling Keen Gaming and stopping them from being able to hammer into the Chaos Knight.
Yeah, and right now, quite an issue. This mid lane, Lina having gone back, already back in the lane. TPs himself there, as bottom lane, the Bat Rider's doing okay. Has picked up 14 CS for himself, but it's the Lifestealer right now that is going to cause quite the problems for them, as they get the D ward off at the last second. Or will they?
It looks like Wrong's going to pay for this one. The Fisher blocks out. It's very hard for him to get back to safety, and he's not going to. SG take the kill. Also be able to knock down their own ward themselves, make sure that gold doesn't go to Keen Gaming. G2-0. Certainly having a good start here in terms of kills, but as you say, the farm is looking nice for GGG.
Yeah, I think he should have just suicided for that ward. You might as well get your money back. But here we go, as up at top, I mean, it's still Keen at the top for all 3 CS, as the Bat Rider now gonna farm up a little bit of neutrals. But still laning phase, I think Keen is really happy with how things have gone.
Numbers looking good on the last hits. But these rotations from SG, and they've not been really able to do much with the Shaker and Jakira because they are pressured to stay up top and protect that CK for the most part. See if things change up now, as not only Tianming on the clock heading towards mid lane, but Theolacour is also coming across on the Shaker. So we'll be there to at least provide some sort of protection for the Quap, as long as he's not caught out by the battery assault. But with the high ground advantage, the Shaker should be aware of the clock's movement. And we should probably see Adriano on the Quap get himself back to safety, despite this clock's movement.
Quick pause, as for some issues, but I think Keen, they were meant to win the laning phase, just by the nature of their heroes. They've got really good matchups, but it's going to be the team fight in the mid game, where SG should be able to come back. Once their 2 core heroes get a Blink Dagger, the Queen of Pain gets a little bit of farm, doesn't need a whole lot. Should probably get something like a Veil. It's going to be very hard for Keen to be able to kill her, as they don't have any sort of that setup.
No.
That Venge stun, very easy to dodge with a Blink. As mid lane, he's getting a little bit low, and the Lina wants to challenge him with that ultimate.
Indeed, always have to consistently be aware of that Nature's Prophet ready to come through.
Radiant's top tower is is under attack.
We can see across the patches, not really the best sort of win rate for this combo, having the Nature's Prophet and the Lifestealer on the same side. Let's see if Keen Gaming are able to break that.
It's a little bit awkward.
I was going to say, not sort of the often duo that we get picked up in terms of two cores.
But you can TP next to somebody with the Lifestealer, that's it. Hope they don't run the other way in. At top, Clockwork gonna make his move, unable to do anything as I think SG, it's hard for them to die, but it's also hard for them to make a lot of leeway as this mid lane, they want to try to make something happen. Earthshaker is here, they do have the level 6 on the Queen of Pain, but with the lane being shoved in, Lena's just gonna back out. Queen of Pain unable to make that move.
Yeah, as expected, and as you said, Lena's just doing a good job keeping that wave consistently pushed out and ahead in the CS and levels. Bottom lane on the hunt for Leposa. Very hard for these two heroes to really get a kill, especially with level 6 on him. As long as he's got that Firefly, Leposa should be safe the majority of the time. In fact, it's going to be the attempt to TP up towards the top lane by the looks of it, because Keen Gaming are trying to fight Dark. Cell sprouts himself. Doesn't matter. Costabil cuts through the trees, will claim the kill. The rotation from GGG should set up for a return kill onto the CK. He's got the stick charges. In fact, with the stun, it's going to be close, not close enough. He goes down with the cogs. It looks like Keen Gaming could look to set up a second. Theolacor in trouble as well. This rotation from GGG proving to be very effective. He'll try his best with the Fisher, but it doesn't save his life. That TP up from the Lifestealer, absolutely textbook, and it gets the job done. He not only gets a kill onto the position 1, but also picks up a support as well. That's the dream for a 7.5 minutes rotating in Lifestealer.
Yeah, really well worth it for him. It's going to allow his Venge to pick up some levels at bottom. The Queen of Pain without a TP, unable to make a counter move up at top. And Keen just going to get even happier as they're above 1k ahead in the gold lead as Costaville makes his way up at top. But with the Lifestealer here, he can't farm anywhere. And look at the level difference between the Lifestealer and the Chaos Knight as a result of this aggro tri-lane. Level 8 on the side of Lifestealer, who didn't care about that Bat Rider whatsoever. Chaos Knight just hits level 6, and I think SG are aware of the laning disadvantage. They want to try to make these plays happen. It's a little bit early here, but without the Queen of Pain,
it's a hard kill. And level 8 Lina, and you've got to be careful how you jump on this, because with the Laguna Blade ready, there's definitely the potential for her turning it around. They do have the poster there as well. They're going to lead him with the Firefly. With 4 heroes, it could be a good attempt, but in fact with the Fisher going on the other side, it makes it very hard for SG to close that gap, and all 4 heroes coming to the mid, they're just going to have to disperse. Nothing's going to be found out of that movement.
That felt really forced. And they had a ward ready mid on the side of the Lina. As soon as she sees the Firefly, she just moves slightly to the left, and that's enough for her to get away. Even after the fissure, and SG, I think they sense that they are behind. They probably don't know by how much, but as soon as they take a look at that Lifestealer, they realize, like, we're getting outscaled right now quite heavily.
I mean, I think that's, you know, they are aware of it. We saw as soon as Costabil hit level 6, just pops the Phantasm, uses it to jungle. Anything that he can use to sort of close this gap. To try and catch back up to this very, very big GGG Lifestealer for 9.5 minutes into the game. We need to get the kill mid lane. Stun is going to be there with the Laguna. And the pushback from the Cogs, meaning there's no chance for a blink. Adriano's gone, and that's not the only casualty for SG, because up top, GGG and Dark go in on the Jakiro, pick up another. And Keen Gaming, they're stepping it up here on the main stage, and SG so far seemingly struggling to keep up.
Keen gonna make a move into the jungle here as Costaville gonna get run down, is very fast though, trying to make his way out, and they're gonna take control of his jungle. Nowhere really for the CK to farm, unable to make any plays thus far.
They do now have the blink on Leposa.
Yes.
They've got to do something huge with this reveal. This offers them the chance to put a bit of a stop to the momentum that Keen Gaming are building up. If they can get a grab, ideally on GGG's Lifestealer or on of course the Lina, they would be the big kills. And Keen Gaming, as you can see here, they're playing confidently now. They know that they've got this lead, they know that they've got this edge, they're feeling safe to do this, but they don't know that the Lasso and Blink are available. And that's going to catch GGG off guard, and that's the dream. The cockiness of the Lifestealer gets punished as SG, with that perfect Blink Dagger timing, make the biggest effect possible with it.
And that was pretty crazy by the Lifestealer. Even if you don't assume that the Bat Rider has that, a little bit too cocky. Is Lina gonna get gone on now too?
SG starting to step it up. Getting those 2 kills, and not just 2, wrong as well. Surrounded by the full 5-man of SG. 3 kills in quick succession. And as you say, that one Blink Dagger pickup, changing it all. But as you said, you're a little surprised that you feel you should be more aware as that lifestealer that the blink is going to come in that sort of time.
Even if you don't think the blink is going to come, that's just a weird position to put yourself in because the rest of your team can't really back you up, Owen. And if you think the rest of your team can't back you up, even if he fireflies in from the top and he catches you at an angle, you're pretty dead. And it's going to bait the rest of his team into staying. And that was a mistake as well, as Keen, no reason to lose that Lina. As soon as that Blink Dagger reveal came online, they can just back up, reset things a little bit, but instead they lose 3 heroes. Fortunately, they don't lose the tower on top of that, but still a very good win for SG Esports. Still, level-wise, heavily in favor of Keen. They're going to make their move once again. They really want this mid tower. The Batrider has already popped Firefly.
Oh, hook shot. Well off the mark there from Tianming. Going to mean that Yellow Core is absolutely safe. No chance of Keen Gaming chasing that down. They will be able to continue this pressure onto the mid lane. They have Armlet done on GGG's Lifestealer. So he'll feel a little bit safer in that respect. He'll want to try and finish off this tower. Yellow Core the only one at the moment hanging around, trying to provide some sort of a defense. Let's see if he goes for the deny with the enchant totem. He's not going to look for it. Actually backing up already because with the wraparound, Tianming is ready to fight on the block. Cogs end up pushing back Theo Core out of the range of the Lifestealer, so Theo will be fine. But they do get the tower now. Bottom lane, SG, they're finding the trade stuff. Foster Bill claims one for his own.
Yeah, very fortunate that Theo didn't get caught there, as if the clock half a second sooner would have been able to trap him, that would have been a kill. Although they do lose the tower for it, they were able to take that mid tower. Talked about it all weekend, how important that mid tower is. It allows you to play very aggressively into this jungle area. And we hadn't talked about it, but the Nature's Prophet has steadily been chipping away at this tier 2 tower up at top. Just going to open up the map further for his team. As Dark gets the last hit with the Treants. And now SG making their big maneuver up. The scan is going to miss.
They've got the lasso available again. Leposa ready to set things off.
They really want this fight. They're both smoked up. Here we go.
Here we go. The Nature's Prophet's TP'd out. He can come back in. So what's going to be there from Wrong to buy some time pouring, who will land a light strike and Laguna onto Leposa. Sonic Wave comes out as Keen Gaming are falling low. 1-for-1 at the moment, but overall it looks like SG will find more out of this. Ing trying to run himself away, but Adriano's there with the last touch. SG claim 2. And again, these smokes, these plays, seemingly catching Keen Gaming off guard. I mean, Keen themselves did smoke and they did have the high ground, but nonetheless, this jump potential at the bat, he may throw his life away, but at this stage of the game just seems to be enough to sort of send Keen Gaming into disarray that they just don't seem ready to react to it.
And that's the benefit of having these heroes like this Batrider and this Earthshaker. You guarantee that you're always going to get the jump off before the enemy team does, and that's so important in this meta. If you have a hero like Nature's Prophet, Owen, you can't take these fights. It's so difficult for you to take these fights. This hero doesn't provide you a stun. He doesn't deal enough damage right now. What he wants to do is create space for the rest of his team to continue to farm. But right now, Keen, I feel like they're overestimating their strength, because even though they do have this 3k gold lead, it doesn't mean a lot because half their heroes can't fight.
And in terms of timing for this game, would you say that Keen Gaming are more of a timer than SG with the lineup? If you sort of just look at the core matchup, or is the Nature's Prophet always such a big threat that no matter how late this goes, Keen Gaming will always have a chance with the split?
I think if the game goes really late, I would favor SG. Because I feel like they're just going to get more farm, they have the better jump as the game goes on. CK illusion-based heroes match up very well against the Lifestealer. We saw that just last week, the Terrorblade versus Lifestealer matchup. It's very annoying for Lifestealer fight those kinds of heroes as Clockwork making his way forward. SG
thinking about it.
Without the CK there, that's a lot of their damage not available for them, but they're all going to move downwards.
Boom, there it goes.
Tianming being a little hesitant in how he jumps, and understandably so, did catch them on the edges. The ward was popped down, but not too sure what waits around the corner in the darkness from SG. Ace Rune also on Adriano. Sonic Wave back up in 12 seconds. SG will be ready to go. Lasso also at the ready. The Keen Gaming have to be careful with their positioning and how they show in this mid lane. Ing at the moment, pushing the wave back out. The wave clear. Dark and GGG trying their best still to make most of the map. What do you think about this Lifestealer? Not every day that we see a Lifestealer go Armlet into Medallion themselves.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. Probably allows for them to go for the early Roshan. And he is infested in a Treant. He's trying to set the weirdest trap I've ever seen because they realize they don't really have the best vehicles
I mean, I like it. It
I
might
mean,
catch
if
up.
it finds Theo here,
Oh, that, he didn't expect that one. He did not expect. It works out, Blitz. It really does. You just don't expect that. You don't expect the Treant Inquisition.
who expected that? I mean, I guess you now have to be.
You got to be scared
You
of
gotta
those
be worried
Treants.
about all of them now. You're setting the tempo for the rest of the game. Everyone is aware that that can happen now.
Bottom lane, SG getting a bit of space. Of course, with Chikiro, and be able to have a good push to this bottom tier 2. See if King Gaming want to put a stop to it. They themselves still actually mainly around Dark's Nature's Prophet up on top. And that pressure on. Bloodstone now finished for Ing's leader, so we'll see if they can get the charges stacking up. Jianming, no hookshot for 30 seconds. So hard for them to get the catch with Adriana. Could look for some sort of swap into light strike play if their timings are there. But G already backing up as soon as they start to see numbers turning up on the bottom lane. Got the ward down in the jungle of King Gaming as well, so feel very safe with their disengage.
Has been denied.
I think SG, they should just wait for half a beat. Leposa is very farmed right now. He has 4 staff completed as well as a Blink Dagger at just 16 minutes. He's got a dust on him too. Anticipating the Nature's Prophet Shadowblade maneuvers, and he's the hero that's going to be able to solo kill him, and that's why when it comes to this kind of matchup, it's very nice for Batrider. He's going to always be able to find that Nature's Prophet. Still Bloodstone completed on that Lina. 4K gold lead for Keen. This is the kind of game that they want to have going, where the pace is very slowed down, where they're avoiding these large-scale engagements, and every time there's not a fight, they just take over the map. They've got so much of the map taken already with that tier 2 tower at top. They still have a large portion of their own tower still alive. They can slow things down a bit, and Wrong gonna get spotted here, and now they're going into Roche. This is why the Lifestealer has this medallion.
I'm going to do it quickly.
SG want to fight this.
I mean, they should, but it doesn't
They're
look
so
like they have
far. They
intention
know
of
this is
heading over.
happening.
I mean, Adriana could go for a big balls play, but it would have cost him his life. And in fact, they're not going to have a look at it at all. They're just going to let King Gaming get away with that one for free. Does that sort of surprise you? Would you like to see them put a bit more pressure on at that?
I'm very surprised. I think they could have at least caught them at the tail end of that, and instead it's going to be Clockwork that goes in.
Getting the chase down onto Theolakoi will still get himself out of the cogs, though. Jianming unable to fully control him as the reaction comes out from Chikiro.
But maybe if they get dark at bottom, they do have a dust. The Batrider is here. He is going to get spotted, though, by that Clockwork Rocket. Leposa's still going to make his move forward. Going to dust up.
Oh, he's ready to jump in. They are going deep for this, and TP reaction will come through. Kumrong provide the save the Dark needs. Magic Missile holds back Leposa. Dark's going to be able to walk it off for now. Hiding in the tree line, but with the flying vision, Leposa will still find him. Adriana quick with the TP out. Leposa looks like he'll get himself out as well. So despite King Gaming's reaction, very nice clean play there from SG. Getting the kill and getting out of there just in time. Forcing all these TPs down bottom as well.
And they went deep for him, and not being able to lose anybody there, very nice, but still, that Roshan is going to be quite annoying for them because they had the definitive advantage in team fights. I think it still would have been worth it, Owen, as soon as they get the Aegis, if they still take the fight, if they get a good angle with their Batrider, if they can jump somebody important. But nonetheless, take what you can get. Kill is a kill in this position, and it's going to free up this top lane to get farmed by this Chaos Knight.
And I like this as well from Costabile. We saw at the start he struggled in lane, and the Lifesteal was having a much better time. But look at this now. He's pretty much all but caught up. He's only a few hundred gold behind Yuji's Lifestealer. It's really heating up. And it is what you said. You expected to see this CK. He's going to have this sort of advantage in the farm game.
At least in the fighting, as he's taken advantage of the fact that the rest of his team is creating space for him in this bottom area. But they've got to be careful. They're going to lose this tier 2 mid. And this is the advantage that the Aegis gives you. It's going to allow you to take down all these outer towers. I'd expect Keen to make their way south, push that out, as Adriano grabs a tier 2 tower for free. Is starting to catch up now.
But King Gaming will back off from that push, despite having the potential towards maybe to go for having that Aegis ready on Ing. Still has it for 2 minutes 40 seconds though. They've still got time to think. Try for more objectives off the back of it. Especially with that Arcane Rune ready to go and nearly having money for that completed Shadow Blade as well. Ing still sitting top of the net worth this game with the amount of waves he's been able to push out and farm.
It does not feel good though, Owen, when you have an Aegis, you just go for the 5-man, and you know that SG are starting to catch up and farm. Everyone's splitting the map, farming wherever they feel like, because you show every single hero and you don't have the best catch. what is Adriano supposed to be worried about? Until the Lina gets the Shadow Blade, there's not really a kill combo for him.
Absolutely not. And Tianming, he'll find himself a freebie
That
there.
is
Goes
deep.
in deep. It is. They've got the ward down. They did give him the vision there to get that hookshot connection. And now there's the Shadow Blade. And as you say, this can add to sort of the recipe that could catch Adriano out. See if he spots it. Probably will with this next creep wave. And oh no, it's actually going to be straight up in. Going with the Shadow Blade. This could catch Adriano off guard.
Adriano gonna be
See if they
spotted
can do it.
here.
Ooh! Was very close.
Still the swap. He was trying to find the angle for it, but
The nighttime vision, though, means that they aren't going to quite be able to grab him. Adriano gets only just that. That was very close with that stun out of Invis.
he was really quick on that. Like, exceptionally fast. As even Kaplik surprised that he was able to get out of there. The Venge misses with the Wave of Terror, throws it down a little bit too low. But SG, I think they were waiting for the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker.
Yeah,
It's
he's nearly
very
got it.
close,
Yeah.
but instead they smoke without it. I think they should just give him the Bounty Rune, allow him to get it, grab it near that North Secret Shop, maybe sell that Quelling Blade, and they feel pretty comfortable making this play without a huge item on their side, as Firefly's going to get popped.
Well, they're trying to bait out something with the Phantasm push from the CK. See if Keen react to it, but now SG just going to reveal themselves. They know that Keen Gaming's not in the area as Keen themselves, just looking for the tier 1 trade down bottom, and they will get it. Keen fronting the push. Maybe just play a bit of a game of who's going to force back who first. It's a hefty push up top, of course, with the Phantasms out from Costa Biel. He himself keeping himself safe in the sidelines, so they can't get the jump on the main hero. Tianming is looking to kick things off, and it's a pretty nice hook shot straight into the midst of it all. Catches Bardino, wrong. Oh, he just gets ripped apart by Costa Biel. They'll lose the Vengeful Spirit. Theolacor now jumping in with the Echo, locking down the Lina. They'll pop the Aegis. Tianming was able to finish off the Jakiro, but he himself falling down low. Theo's got the lockdown with the Enchant Totem and the burst from Adriano. They'll find a second SG. GGG's coming, trying to turn the fight around, but already 3 dead on Keen Gaming. Can GGG turn it around with the help of Dark? It doesn't look like it. SG still standing pretty strong. Laposa forces himself away, kiting out the Lifestealer. Theolacor still alive. Adriano picks up a triple. Still GGG, he's the big threat. Theolacor getting the blink out in time. Adriano is also going to be fine as well as he blinks out. Big kills there for the Queen of Pain. And despite GGG turning up, managing to get a little bit of a return for Keen Gaming, it's still SG taking the lead off that team fight.
That was an excellent fight, and this is the issue with your team when you don't have these kinds of stuns. The Clockwork jumps in, and that represents most of your disable. The Vengeful Spirit can't really follow up with anything. On top of that, the Lina was the one to get jumped on. She had to use a lot of her spells defensively. No Force Staff on her, so when she's in the thick of things, Owen, she's just going to go down very easily. A lot of her abilities and her item build right now just geared towards pure offense, so if they don't get the jump, it's very difficult for them to play. And we saw that the Lifestealer, yes, he's very strong, second in net worth, but he just gets parkoured on. Everyone jumping around, blinks.
So much kiting potential once that rage is gone. Lots of stuns, lots of control from the lineup of SG. Sure, once he's got the AC finished, that it's going to make him a little harder to kill. I mean, we saw then he doesn't die.
He doesn't die.
But it's, as you say, he just doesn't get as much as he would like to out of these fights without the lack of control for the rest of the team. Bottom lane, Dark's caught out. SG find a free pickoff.
And in that fight, what we didn't see was that Laposa actually dragged the Lifestealer around the entire fight, was trying to kite him, separate him from the rest of his team, and so for the most part he had to run around trying to get back to his Lina, protect the Aegis. Ezing hasn't really had that presence on the map, continues to farm, but it's the team fights that really matter in a game like this, as even though the score 9-14 in favor of SG, down by 2k gold, but I'd imagine they feel very good right now.
Look at this as well. I mean, I wonder if he is going to follow through on this. GGG's queuing up the Blink Dagger. I mean, the kiting has frustrated him. Is that the way you have to go, getting the Blink on the Lifestealer?
I don't even know if that's enough. He probably needs an Abyssal Blade at some point, but I think the Chaos Knight is still very happy about this kind of matchup. As Keen, they're going to smoke up, feeling a little bit frustrated. Without a really easy vehicle for their Lifestealer, he's going to have to pop into this Clockwork, who has to hit the hook shot here, as they're looking for it right now. They're going to whiff again, though, on their scan. Maybe they run into somebody here.
Looking at now that Adriano's down in the bottom lane. Baker's also in the neighborhood. Of course, Adriano would be the bigger kill, but he's certainly the slipperier one.
They really want him to blink first.
Yeah. He pretty much has to for them to get it, the kill out of these two heroes alone.
He's gonna blink south as they're gonna wave at Terror him.
Okay, that was not the TP he was looking for. Straight in, he does still get the blink. Wrong, needs to find the vision for the stun. But he's going to be able to blink again. Oh, no, he's not. The battery assault's enough. Tianming's able to chase him down. They will get the kill. SG are turning up. They're maybe thinking about trying to react to this without their Queen of Pain. It's a little spooky, though. Bardino, he's going to be the one that gets caught out at the front of this. They force him into the hands of Ing, who drops the Laguna Blade, picks up a second. You've got to kind of ask yourself, did SG really need to go looking for that fight after losing the co-op so deep in enemy territory?
They absolutely did not, and I think you just cut your loss to say, okay, we lost the Queen of Pain, let's shove out top lane, let's shove out mid, let's take the farm trade at least, and try to get whatever we can, but maybe they just overvalued their team fight, but even positioning-wise, it was a little bit off for them, and they were under the ward the entire time. I mean, they're going to be smoked up.
And they had that one ward sort of towards the left of the jungle, but other than that, the vision for SG in Keen Gaming's jungle wasn't great for them to take a fight on them.
If you have perfect vision and you see the Lina and you can jump her with the Chaos Knight and instantly blow her up, yes, that is a good fight to take.
That's all they had. They had that there. The fight was moved to the right. They had nothing in the center of the jungle.
Then you bail.
Yeah.
Fight's over for you. Reset the game. You lose your Queen of Pain, but it's okay. She's accomplished her job. She pushed out all the way down towards that bottom tier 3. They're going to have to reset that anyways. So now it's SG. All they did lose was the Jakiro, though. No need for us to overreact. It's not the worst trade that you're gonna get as Adriano continues to play his game. Almost has that BKB, and with that BKB available, Owen, it's gonna be very hard for them to lock him down.
There is, pretty much. I mean, sure, there's a very small chance that they could perfectly combo everything so he doesn't get it off, but I don't know, with the amount of HP he's going to have as well off the back of the BKB, it's as you say, it's going to be very, very hard to catch that quad. 11-14, 28 minutes in, 4K gold lead for Keen Gaming, and they are on the hunt up top of that Shadow Blade.
Osa.
That was a very nice hook shot.
That's his gem.
Absolutely, yeah, that is absolutely huge for Keen Gaming. They didn't have the vision there, they just saw him pass by the Lina, and Tianming makes the call, gets it absolutely bang on. Fantastic catch there from the clock.
He just bought that too, and that represents a huge net worth swing, as now they're ahead by 6K. They really wanted that gem. There's 2 Shadow Blades on the side of Keen. They're going to walk into this Roach Pit without the Fat Rider alive.
For Keen. Yeah. We saw them get away with it last time, and I think by the looks of the positioning of SG, they're going to absolutely get away with it again. This time, of course, being the Aegis and the Cheese. Keen Gaming really starting to rack up that net worth lead once again in this game. It will be a free Roshan. SG, no plans of trying to interrupt it. Straight back into the hands of the Lina. Last time they were unable to break a high ground. We'll see if things change this time. They've got more jump. They do have the blink complete on GGG. And also just 100 gold away from having blink on Tianming. So it looks like blink daggers seeming to be the aim of the game here for Keen Gaming, as they know that they need to have that jump. They need to have that catch that they've been lacking so far. And as we say, I want to say Adriano has that BKB. It's even with that blink dagger, it's going to get hard, but he hasn't got it yet. There's still this window of opportunity that Keen Gaming can look to try and punish the quad.
And this is just kind of a weird game for me, because Keen have built up this advantage, and SG, they seem to be playing a similar game where they're just splitting the map, and it looks like they're afraid to take fights, even though they've won the majority of the straight-on 5-on-5 engagements. And now, Keen, they're all under this ward, gonna get dewarded. I feel like if they just go for the 5-man, they're gonna be in a really strong position, but instead, they're avoiding all these engagements. They're getting picked off. The Bat Rider probably didn't expect to die like that, but probably still strong enough to take these engagements once they have the BKB on the Queen of Pain.
And here's the lead in as well, Ing, seeing if he can find some action in the jungle with the rest of the gang. Kiro, barely far out, but no ward at the moment up for Keen Gaming yet. So they won't see Bardino's positioning. They themselves just looking to deward as much as they can from that of SG. Okay, there we go. So that's that blink dagger picked up. Or clockwork. So let's see what they can do with it. As you say, Keen Gaming, they're trying to find something, but they're not having huge success with it. SG's positioning just proving to be a bit of a step ahead. Now they may get caught out. Ing with the setup on Adriano, does manage to find the lead in with the stun. Where's the follow? But they got it. No! They don't get the cog pushback. Adriano going for the TP out, but he won't make it. They have the vision from the Sprout, and they will be able to catch that pesky Queen of Pain.
Yeah, and another free pickoff for them. Another fight avoided for SG. Like they want to wait for that Aegis to run out, but since that top fight, haven't been able to really get anything going. Is now
Here's the blink in play. GGG jumps in. Phantasm will come through. Costabill is pretty scary, and indeed GGG won't be able to chase him down. In fact, he's going to be the one to get to. Oh, quick swap from Wrong, saving the life of GGG. Does cost him his own, but it allows GGG to go back in. Blink forward from Tianming, gets the trap with the cogs. GGG on the high ground, in fact, wrapping in on the other side of them, cuts into Bardino. And a very quick heads-up play from Wrong on the Vengeful Spirit, making sure GGG gets out. And with that blink, he can get back in. And now Keen Gaming are in a position where SG, they don't have 3 of their heroes. They're on the high ground. They've got the Aegis. They're ready to push. And this could do a heavy bit of damage to SG's base.
And if you're not going to commit anything, you just got to give this up, reset. It's too many heroes dead right now. The Queen of Pain is just about to respawn. They're going to have to wait, allow these racks to be taken. As Keen, with the Aegis still available for 2 minutes. Gonna reset though, just back up, maybe to start taking the shrines now. Very satisfied with that engagement.
Very, very nice. And one of the reasons why, you know, in the past, in previous patches where Venge's been seen as stronger, she was never let through if you wanted to play a Batrider game.
Dire's top shrine
We're seeing
is
just
under
how
attack.
easily Wrong can just put an end to any sort of initiation that the
Dire's
poster
bottom
goes for.
shrine has fallen.
And just as long as you've got that sort of save, that pretty well with the one lockdown through BKB, through that magic immunity that SG have, he rages, and then SG, they line up, they can't do anything to hold him back, especially with that blink. He just chases straight after them.
Yes, so it's very important that the Earthshaker simultaneously jumps, or they're able to separate the Lifestealer once again, as they did in the previous fight, where they were successful.
Dire's
But
top
the
shrine
downside right now for
is
SG is they haven't been able to take a team fight. All that's happened so far, Owen, in the last 8 minutes is them getting picked off one by one.
Sure. It just feels like we've seen so much happen off the back of Keen Gaming's blinks. For instance, the dealer cause the blink on the Shaker, he just hasn't been able to find any sort of a jump. There's just been no sort of initiation, no sort of big echo plays that have actually ended in any positive action for SG since he picked it up.
Yeah, I think they feel as though their late game is better and their core matchup is better.
Okay,
And
so they're kind of
avoiding
taking
these
it slow.
engagements, But I feel like that was the wrong idea, considering how many blink daggers they had as
There we go.
jumped on. She's got the Aegis
They
though.
should be able to eliminate her once. Can they do it a second time? They'll put the Aegis, silence onto the Lifestealer, making it hard for him to get in. Look at Xiaoming on this clock. Comes straight in on the backlines. Starts to split them up. Hook shot onto Theolical, making sure he can't get out a single spell. Adriano's trying to turn with the BKB and the Solid Weapon. Wrong with the swap. Saves in, gets the Lina back up to the high ground. He turns down with the Dragon's Name. Light Strike Array as well from up on the cliff. Laguna Blade finishes off Costabill. Adriano's trying to finish off the Lina, but he can't. The suicide's there. Lina brings herself down. SG, they've lost 2. GGG's just chasing into the base. Takes La Posa. Adriano will finish off the kill onto Dark. Does manage to get himself out. It's a 3-for-3 trade, but still GGG standing strong, blinking in. Adriano low on the mana. He will shrine up, does have that Orchid, but without 3 of his heroes, it's very hard for him to really stop GGG from getting away with this. He's just pushing in onto the tower. The buyback has to come out from the Posa. They have to do something to slow down Keen Gaming. As now with the bots coming through, Ing's ready to join the fray once more. Jump in from GGG, forces Adriano to blink back, turns towards the Posa with the open wounds. He has the 4-star. We'll keep him safe. There's the echo. That's what we've been looking for from Theo. Comes in with the 2-man Fisher, and he looks like he will be able to punish the cockiness of Keen Gaming. They get the double kill, and bam, just like that, they have to get the hell out of there. Xiaoming will be fine with the hook shot. These are the sort of echoes that we've been waiting for.
These are the sort of anythings that we've been waiting for right now, as SG finally take a fight. They're able to get the jump off. And every single time, Owen, that they've gotten the jump off in a game like this, it feels very easy for them to play, as we see again.
Perfect time,
catches them at the back end.
just as the rage finishes as well.
Even stuns the clockwork. The gem would have been the big pickup for them, as SG successfully hold their top racks. During that time, though, they did lose mid, as the ranged racks went down. Still 13k gold lead right now for Keen, as they firmly control this game right now.
And as you say, you know, it's clear that maybe SG do have this plan in their head to take it late, and they haven't really been forcing the skirmishes themselves up to this point. Well, maybe it will pay off. Maybe with these sort of team fights, if they can get these sort of jumps, catching out Keen Gaming, they've got huge amounts of damage, that's for sure, with the farm that both the CK and the Quap have. I mean, CK's still a little bit behind, but as long as he has that Phantasm available, he is going to do a lot in these team fights. It looks like he did have to change up his build because of the tempo of the fight. He had the Heart queued up, as we see pretty much most Chaos Knights go for that Arm the Echo into Heart, but with the way it's gone, he's had to pick up the Yasha, going for the Manta Star first instead, just so he has some sort of progression that can help him in these fights that Keen Gaming are forcing SG to take.
Illusion.
And on top of that, he has that Blink Dagger, which I think we mentioned before. He picked that up like 10 minutes ago. But the point of it is just get in with the rest of his team.
Yeah.
The first initial jump is so important for SG. Man, losing that gem early on has hurt them so much. They can't play as aggressively as they want. They don't know if the Lena's standing on top of them. They've just got to place a bunch of sentries. They've wasted so much gold. And unfortunately for them, they lost it almost instantly. They bought it as Keen. It looks like Keen is very comfortable avoiding these 5-on-5 engagements. They're trying to split them up again, and they're just saying, we'll wait for you. We know that you guys might slip up again. Then the next Roshan might just determine the game.
I think Keen Gaming will certainly be aware and will feel the advantage they do still have on their cores in comparison. Overall, the 3 of SG. Laposa still makes a jump in. The hook shot is not going to be on mark. There's going to be nothing to save this Lena. And sorry, wrong, and wrong is gone. They did get that. What, please? Avenge is out. But the hook shot, not quite there on point. Cost them a life. Just even though it's Avenge gone, it does mean that they can't get the push continuing. SG will be able to hold it back. A lot of treants going the way of SG as well. Every little helps. Takes 830 gold off the back of them as well for Adriano.
That is a lot of gold.
I mean, his net worth, it's pretty hot. He's on par with the Lena and the lifesteal, only slightly behind on the community profit. So Adriano's been doing a great job at just keeping these waves shoved back down. It's going to mean that he's very close to having a completed Shiva's Guard. And with that in his BKB, he's going to be not only a nightmare in terms of taking down, but the chase and catch potential is going to be pretty huge as well from this quad.
And on top of that, he's going to grab his level 25 talent soon. But SG...
I mean, I feel they really have to take one of
Yes.
these Roshan fights. They
They really
can't
need to
let
grab this
Keen
fight.
Gaming get away with this for the 3rd time in a row. But it looks like they will, because Keen Gaming at this stage, they take it down so damn quickly. It's going to be another easy roast, 3rd in the game for them.
That's Aegis Cheese.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And it's been a while since I've seen a team go this uncontested into the Roche pit. Considering you have Batrider, one of the better heroes, maybe the best hero at fighting around that area, you just Firefly up, you have complete vision of the fight, you'll always get the kind of jump that you want. And now it's Keen. They immediately make their way up to top. They feel very strong.
There's no Phantasm for 35 seconds as well on Costa Bill, so they will be lacking that for the team fight. They do have the big ultimates in terms of the Echo and the Sonic Wave, and the
Where's the
Poacher's
jump?
looking for the jump. Can he find the grab? Who does? The Fisher sets up for the lasso. Do they have the lockdown to kill him? No, Wrong's there with the swap out. The lifestealer's going to be fine for now. Adriano's BKB gets popped. They'll be able to punish Wrong for that save, but he does keep the lifestealer fine and alive. GGG will be okay. But they are now a man down, Keen Gaming. And we'll see if that's enough to put them off pushing further in. SG as well, able to contain their ultimates. Didn't have to use them in terms of the Sonic Wave Echo Summon. Now the Phantasm that's back online, and that one pickoff seems to be enough. It's put a stop to Keen Gaming's push, and SG buy themselves more time on the map, and now, in fact, trying to chase out. If they could catch anyone on the retreat, but it looks like Keen Gaming will get themselves back. But this sort of slowdown, this is great news for SG.
That was a really cool move by SG. They realized, okay, if we catch him with the fissure, we're going to have the ability to drag him back, at least for a little bit, but Wrong was still in position as now move up to top as...
Adriano, he gets the blink out just in time. There's the turnaround as Costa Bill's ready to go with the Phantasm, the
Echo.
Core, with the Echo, the lockdown, the control, the silence. It's all too much for GGG. Double kill for Costa Bill. Ice Path through the Sprout. They'll get a 3rd. Triple kill for Costa Bill. And I gotta say, this is looking scary. SG, it seems like they had this plan to play it slow all along. They may be a Rex down, but fights like this, it's gotta scare you if you're Keen Gaming. You're losing your lifestealer like this. The CK is getting absolutely amped up in terms of net worth. He was a clear 4K behind in terms of gold about a few minutes ago, but now he's catching up to the rest of the cores in the game. And as you said, as the game goes on, late game CK against the lifestealer, it's absolutely terrifying for GGG.
And it's not just that, it's the rest of the heroes. If you always have the jump advantage with heroes like this Earthshaker and this Batrider, you're going to feel very good because you know that you're going to be able to get your damage out and Keen is going to get kited. So right now for SG, if they continue these 5-on-5 engagements, they play as 5, this is where they're the strongest, even with the Aegis advantage that Keen have. And I feel so bad for Wrong Owen.
He's had to throw his life in so many times for the saves, and they've been fantastic saves, but no way that his team can save him after he himself goes to save the core.
Might be wrong, but he's definitely playing this right.
Really good though.
I appreciate it. Somebody had to do it.
I think we already did, but
Did we?
probably too many times.
Worthy tribute.
See what SG can do here. Repulsor,
Dire are
ready to see if he can get a cheeky grab outside of the base, but Keen Gaming, they're keeping it safe up on the high ground. Once he's got that BKB as well on the back, it's going to be much harder for Keen Gaming to put a stop to him jumping forward.
And they weren't able to utilize the Aegis. That's the best part about all of this. They got their gem back, I believe.
This though, SG, they're fairly deep here. And in fact, well, Adriano, he's ready to take the fight. Looking for the Sonic Wave, comes out. They're bringing this Lifestealer down like a wrong. Again with the save, keeps GGG alive. And here's the turnaround potentially. They get the Shaker, they do lose the clock. BKB's out on Ing. He's trying to chase Leposa, but with the Ghost Scepter, Leposa's going to be fine. Costabil's there with the illusions, turns towards Ing, pops the Aegis. It's out of his hands. Jumping from Adriano, forcing Wrong to have to TP out. He's trying to get home, and he will get out of there. But the rest of the side of King Gaming is not looking too hot, including the Lina, surrounded by the illusions. SG, despite being at a point where the lead that Keen Gaming was reaching sort of 20k, they're turning it around. They're taking these aggressive fights. They're waiting out the BKBs. GGG's getting jumped on every time. Wrong, bless him. He's trying his best to rectify these initiations. GGG, oh, that's aggressive. He's going in. He wants to do something with the rage. Can SG jump back in him though? After the race, that's the question. Yeah, they do! Blink! The Blink CK catches him off guard! The Ice Pass down as well! Wrong again! Having to throw his life away for his cause! Wrong! I mean, this Venge, he's doing his best. But his team just keep making him happen. There's no Wrong to back him up this time. But GGG will get one kill out of it. Once again in the creep, jumps back out. Let's get the bash onto Adriano. CK throws the stun, make sure Adriano does get this jump out. There's the chase from Tianming. They have the silence, but BKB's there. I don't know if they get this kill, Will. He's still going to have the blink up. In fact, he's standing his ground trying to fight. You have to be careful because of the bashes on the Lifestealer. Sprout comes through. They have got the Hex. They should get the kill, and they do. They will be able to punish Adriano.
Still a forced buyback on the Nature's Prophet. And another successful fight for SG is they finally breached that high ground, taking that tier 3 tower. And now you're starting to see their lineup come alive as at one point it looked like it was all but over 16k.
Can we get the network graph up? I mean, the swings that we're seeing, there we have it. Breach nearly 20k.
Down. But with 2 heroes dead, they want to force the buyback on the Queen of Pain. They want to head north. They had to force a buyback on their Nature's Prophet at the same time. They want to take advantage of this. And this is probably going to be one of their last remaining moments. If they get stomped out in this fight, Owen, I think the game heavily swings in favor of SG.
Yeah, absolutely. This game's still definitely one fight away from being over, despite the swing around that SG have managed to get back in their favor.
Still Keen, they've got to be careful. The initiation is still there as SG, they're smoked up, here we go.
Phantasm, and there's the Echo, comes through, but at the same time, Lifestealer's already on the front lines with the race, takes down Theolicor, turning towards Costabil, has got the Phantasm out, with Adriano jumping in with the BKB, there's not lots they can do to hold back this swap. Now he blinks back, looking for Ing, as Ing's picking up the backline, gets Bardino, trying for the TP out, but the damage is too much! Lena's out and down. SG, they do lose the Shaker and the Jakiro, but it cost them the life of both the Lina and the Venge. The push, again, is pushed back. They did end up losing the rest of the racks on that top lane, so Keen Gaming are still getting the structural damage done. But it's not really the clean pushes that they hoped for, and they maybe could have got away with if they were a little more successful with those earlier fights.
Yeah, now the CK is an absolute beast, has that heart completed. It's very hard for this Lifestealer to deal with him. They do have the Mjolnir on Dark, but even that doesn't seem to be quite enough as a Medallion not really doing a whole lot for them now. They're blinking.
He's ready to try and chase Dark. He's hoping they've not got any detection. The problem is they have. They see him, they grab him, Lasso's there. They try and save Tianming with the hook shot. Looking to put a stop to it. They've got the Hex onto the CK. Can they kill Costabil? He's falling down low, but he gets the Mad Off. It doesn't matter. Taken down here by the AoE. That's Costabil gone for 80 seconds. Adriano trying to deal with this Lifestealer, but he's pretty big, he's pretty tanky. Theolicor looking for the lockdown with the Charge Totem. They've got a good amount of control. Is it enough? He has the rage back up. Manages to force Adriano to blink away. Turns towards Theolicor with a bash. GGG gets the double kill. Now he's looking for Adriano. Pulls the BKB. Has to blink away. Magic missile out to the poster. That's going to be enough one down. He has to go. Scepter is not enough to help him from the magical from Infest. GGG picks up the triple kill. Lifestealer going absolutely ham. He's not even done yet.
He gets the bash.
Gets the bash. Adriano blinks out, and Bardino's ice path will hold back GGG. Buyback comes out from the poster. Ing setting up with the investing if you can find more for the side of Keen Gaming. Light Strike and the Laguna straight out to Bardino. GGG comes in for the cleanup. SG now 3 members down.
He's got the Abyssal Blade. He wants more. Just going to hit the range. The melee racks instead. The rest of his team backing him up. And with 3 dead on the side of SG, they're going to have to wait things out as the blink forward.
Look at this. They need to do something about this Lifestealer. With 2 of them, it's so hard to do. They have the silence. Will force GGG back for the time being. They've got the lasso. Goes Scepter as well. Trying to drag him back in range of the tower. Again there with the swap out. Does cost him his life, of course, for the 10th or 11th time. I don't know how many times that's happened, but it will keep the Lifestealer safe.
Worth it every single time.
Absolutely. The life of a position 5 engine. He's playing it perfectly wrong. Perfectly right.
Well done. As now, the Lifestealer, I mean, their jump potential, they used everything on that Nature's Prophet. They weren't able to bring him down. And the Lifestealer had the perfect angle on that, was able to Abyssal Blade that Chaos Knight. He had 1 second. 1 second for his Manta.
So
and now the 4th Aegis of the game. If this goes to Keen, we said it every other time, but the Aegis and the cheese making a difference.
I mean, they have the Phantasm, the Echo Slam, but again, it's at this point, it's understandably very hard for SG to get out of it. The waves are pushed in. What a lane.
Where's the follow-up?
I don't think it's there.
He is completely on his own, forces the BKB, but I don't think they mind, as they're going to get the bigger prize here.
Just the cheese once again. And I got to say, we're seeing in the fights how clutch sort of these itemizations from Keen Gaming have been. You know, getting this Orchid on Tiaming's clock and making sure you had the Scythe on Dark. These sort of lockdowns are what's changing it up, making sure that it's much harder for Costa to get off that Phantasm and the Manta, as we've seen, with no BKB in his build, of course. If they can get the jump on the main CK, the fight gets so much easier. If they don't, Costa he's just going to rip them to pieces. They have to make sure this CK can't get away with going ham with the illusions.
You don't know how close that top fight was. He had half a second for his Manta style. If he's able to get that off, then he can turn the fight onto the Lifestealer.
Yeah.
But the Lifestealer got through like 2,000-3,000 of his health before he was able to get that Manta off, and by that time he was already dead. So it's SG. They want to take a fight outside of the base. They don't want Keen to just play that long-range assault game with Wrong sitting in the wings, waiting with the swap. It becomes much harder for them to take the initiation in that case. Keen nowhere near that bottom area. Instead, they're farming out.
And GGG's Lifestealer are going to be a lot harder for the CKs to deal with now. He's hit the 25, he's got the plus 15 armor, so suddenly the sort of physical damage that was causing some issues for GGG is going to be lessened.
And it's this Tianming clockwork is doing so much in this game.
It's been really nice. And
That Blink Dagger pickup.
I mean, both Tianming and Wrong, the two supports from Keen Gaming have been absolutely doing everything possible to enable their cause, and it's really doing it.
It was the engagement on bottom. Remember when before they opened up the bottom lane, he TP'd out in front of 4 heroes and just casually got away. I was like, all right. It's Queen of Pain, level 25, almost completely slotted. Has that Bloodthorn complete. They do have the damage that they can get on top of heroes.
It's just all about who gets the jump.
Yes. And if they can lock down Wrong, who positioning-wise has been near flawless this game.
He's got the swap up every time it feels that he's been around for that lasso.
Yeah, he's making these jumps really annoying for them as Laposa. They want to take this fight outside their base. Here we go.
There's no one to swap the swappy. He gets dragged back into the science. Costa as well is there, ready to rip the Aegis. A couple of hits and the Lena's down once. They'll burn down the Vengeful Spirit. Can they taking it down a second time? They'll look for the TP and BKB out. Nothing to cancel that once the lasso's gone.
Elsewhere.
Can they get GGG? Rages, blinks out. There's a little too slippery to chase. Look at the base though. Darky's looking for the rat-a-tat-tat onto the tier 4s. They're on their way back trying to punish him, and they will catch him by the looks of it. So Dark will pay for his sins here on the top lane. SG do manage to lock him down. He'll do his best to put up the fight. Back down bottom though. They're trying to go back in on this one. Keen Gaming, can they get out of it though? It's scary. They're looking to fight this ZK, but with the lack of members, it's hard to control him.
And Lena's making his way forward. Costa build just going to blink out. They did lose the Queen of Pain for this though. And Keen, no Aegis on them.
I mean, if they knew that quad didn't have buyback, they may, just get the Nature's Prophet.
I think they still go for it.
I mean, sure, yeah, even
You can
without the
still
Nature's
poke.
Prophet.
But
They
without
seem
the
scared.
Aegis, I think it's just the lack of the Aegis. They're a little bit nervous. If there's some sort of buyback and they jump and the Nature's Prophet can't get there, then it's really awkward. As he's gonna finish up his own BKB, realizes the jump potential is really strong.
Looking at this though.
Oh,
Blink
Keating
forward.
linked in.
Look straight away for Bardino, force backs there, Theodore dropping the fish, trying to make it hard for the rest of Keating Gaming to get in. With a hook shot coming through straight away, shuts down the Earthshaker, he's down, didn't get a
He's
chance to
trapped.
the Eck as well. They've trapped the CK, he gets out of the clogs, can he get himself out of this? He can't, CK's down, has to buy back. Gets himself back into the fight. They need that CK. They're losing the rest of their teammates. Buy back from Bardino. He gets bashed. Abyssal Blaze drop. Matching Mizzelle as well. Ice Path coming out, trying to provide some sort of savior. Getting forced back up the high ground will be saved. The forces from SG do it.
Dire's middle
They'll give
tower
Costabil a second chance, but bottom lane, the racks are gone. SG with just 3 members against the full 5-man of Keen Gaming. Can they really put a stop to this? 20 seconds until the Queen of Pain back in the game. The poster gets silenced. He can't find the jump in that he
They
needs
know
to
he
do.
doesn't have buyback.
They're going for the Ancient. They're going for the game. Costabil jumps in, tried to kick things off, but the hook shot on is there. He's held in place. Light Strike as well. Keen Gaming, they're focusing the Ancient. They're looking for the game, and they'll take it. GG is called. The Ancient falls. And Keen Gaming take game 1 here against SG, but boy, did SG put up a fight.
Oh my god, that Clockwork in the last fight, when he cogs blinks out, manages to just trap inside with the Lifestealer. Unbelievable play as SG going to be very disappointed in that effort. It looked like there was going to be that window of opportunity for them, and it just gets slammed shut at that top engagement.